Welcome back to Business Undercurrent. Imagine building the perfect product, nailing every specification, only to find that nobody buys it. That's the wild situation with the Chevrolet Silverado EV right now. Chevy sold about 14,000 of these trucks in the USA and Canada last year. Meanwhile, the gas version sells 10 times that amount every single quarter. It's a real head-scratcher, and the answer is way more interesting than you might think. If you enjoy deep dives into business weirdness, please hit that like button and subscribe to Business Undercurrent. It seriously helps us out. Now, let's dive into what makes this truck so special and why it's struggling. So what exactly did Chevrolet build here? This isn't just any electric truck. It's an absolute beast. This truck boasts over 400 miles of range, blowing past the F-150 Lightning by more than 100 miles. It can tow a massive 12,500 pounds, and its huge battery pack gives it a ride that's smoother than most luxury cars. And get this, it starts at just $61,000, only about $5,000 more than the average gas Silverado. By all accounts, this thing should be flying off the lots, but it's not. So if it's such an engineering marvel, what's holding it back? So why the cold shoulder for this incredible machine? It really boils down to the psychology of the American truck buyer, and this thing called market inertia. Truck owners are fiercely loyal, and they've been buying gas trucks forever. The biggest fear is towing range. When you're hauling heavy loads, EV range drops significantly, and that sounds catastrophic. But here's the kicker. 75% of full-size truck owners tow at most once a year. They're making a huge decision based on a scenario that barely ever happens. It's like refusing a house because it lacks a drawbridge. The fear is real, but the actual threat is not so much. But that's not the only hurdle this truck faces. We can't just blame the buyers, though. The whole ecosystem around the Silverado EV is still playing catch-up. Charging infrastructure, especially in the rural areas where many truck buyers live, is still pretty sparse. And then there's the dealership problem, which is a huge, often overlooked factor. The folks selling these trucks have spent decades pushing V8s. Many don't truly believe in EVs. They don't know how to sell them or answer tough questions. So a curious buyer often walks in and then walks right back out. Chevy built a brilliant truck, but they're trying to sell it through a channel that isn't fully on board. It's like launching the iPhone and asking Blockbuster to be your retail partner. But there's hope on the horizon. So is the Silverado EV a flop? Not at all. It's just a product that arrived a bit ahead of its time, before the infrastructure was ready. Chevrolet is banking on a new battery chemistry, LMR, which promises to cut production costs by about $6,000 per vehicle. If those savings hit the consumer, the Silverado EV reaches the holy grail, price parity with the gas version. At that point, the numbers become undeniable. Same price to buy, way cheaper to fuel, less maintenance, and more tech. The psychological dam will eventually break. It always does. The big question is how long it takes and if Chevy can stick it out. The Silverado EV is a truck built for the future, but it's trying to sell to buyers still living in the past. Thanks for watching Business Undercurrent, and if this kind of analysis is your jam, you know what to do.